Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. We gotta get into this leftist insanity on crime, the Democrat era of the criminal. You know, they try to sell us white privilege as being a thing, and to a certain extent it is. Of course, I'm never gonna deny that. Although these days it could be a double-edged sword. It's a privilege in some sense and a disadvantage in others. Although I think that's true for probably most people. But anyways, they try to sell us this whole white privilege thing, but it seems as though the most privileged person today is the criminal. I mean, for Pete's sakes, if something tragic happens involving a criminal and a police officer, said criminal could become a freaking global icon, as crazy as that is. Even with the history of drug abuse and armed home invasions. Of course, it's also completely and utterly insane. And the more insane it gets, or rather the more insane Democrats get on their approach to crime in general, well, the most people will start packing their bags looking for greener pasture. That's exactly what's happening. We've been covering it. We've been covering the general sentiment. Well, to add to all of it, today we have a clip of a lifelong Democrat voter in California showing us just how real that sentiment that we've been covering really is in the real world. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. Let's get straight into the clip. Here's your typical Democrat business owner.
Caught on camera at a local construction company in LA's Glassell Park. Several thieves are involved, and tonight that owner tells us he's frustrated.
This whole strip has been broken into. Our neighbors have been broken into 4 times. These guys just got broken into 2 months ago. What are we supposed to do? We're a small construction company.
Ryan Bagley, the latest victim on this Glassell Park street, to get burglarized by several thieves. So many, it's hard to count. As you watch them file into and out of Bagley's business, Delta Construction and Electric.
They smashed into our gate over there, smashed our gate into here. 15 dudes come pouring in.
Delta security cameras capturing the destructive mayhem about 5 a.m. Wednesday morning. The getaway car, this blue Kia Soul, Bagley says was stolen from LAPD's impound yard.
The cops just knew that it was from the LAPD impound because of the chalk mark on the window.
That Kia Soul taking out a gate so the hooded suspects could make entry.
Hi. You are currently being recorded.
Inside, they took whatever they could carry, including music equipment. Bagley and his brother, former band members, stored inside. You can hear the alarm and spot a guitar.
Stole 6 of our guitars, a bunch of studio mics and stuff like that. Rustled some stuff out, some construction on our construction side. They stole a bunch of tools.
Thousands of dollars worth of valuables, demolished doors and gates. Bagley says the alarm company woke him at 5:03 a.m. when the break-in was still underway, and he managed to get there even before cops. But the suspects were gone.
I came in ready to rustle them out of there and just be like, I wanted to at least take down a few of them.
His business now boarded up, and Bagley is fed up with the break-ins and elected officials.
I voted for Karen Bass, I voted for Biden, I voted for Gavin Newsom. I'm sick of it. It's like at some point you have to give me a reason to vote for you again. Or just do our jobs, make a living, help our employees make a good living, and move on. But it's really freaking difficult to survive.
He put them all on blast, and you know what? That is absolutely lovely to see. And this, by the way, comes right after Gavin Newsom tried promoting his record during his Fox News debate against Ron DeSantis with Sean Hannity hosting.
Near 50-year lows, down 55% violent crimes in the state of California from the 1990s. And I want to compare and contrast that with the issue in Florida that you didn't mention, and that's the murder rate. And let's broaden it more broadly. The issue is 7 of the top 10.
Those numbers were part of the murder rate.
7 of the top 10 murder rates in the United States of America are red states. He has a 66% higher gun death rate than the state of California. He has a higher murder rate. Go to places like Jacksonville. Go to places like Orlando. Go to places like Tampa. The murder rate's off the charts compared to cities like San Francisco.
There's the false bill of goods that Gavin Newsom is trying to sell you, and then there's reality told to you by an actual business owner in his state. It is the perfect clip. And what's awesome here is that this guy is the exact person that I've been talking about for the last 4 years. Whenever we talk about Democrat cities, I always say the same thing. When you refuse to prosecute criminals, when you refuse to enforce the law, when you defund the police, what you are doing, what you are saying is that you are taking the side of the criminal at the expense of the law-abiding, tax-paying, in many cases, business-owning citizen. That to me is what is so morally wrong with the Democrat approach. And he is the perfect example. Here's a guy, a lifelong Democrat, who's bought into all the left-wing principles, living in a Democrat city contributing. I mean, obviously I don't know this guy, but I'm assuming he's a law-abiding citizen. I mean, who knows? It's possible he could secretly be a serial killer, but chances are probably not. Just a law-abiding citizen running a business, moving money, creating jobs in his community. But even beyond that, buying into the left-wing metropolitan way of thinking, the Democrat socialist way of life, buying into the tax structure, the tax system, a contributing member of society, building wealth and then taking that money and giving it to a left-wing government that then prioritizes street criminals, thugs, organized thieving rings, and organized violent criminal gangs over the law-abiding taxpayer citizen. I don't know about you, but I would be pissed if it was me and I was on TV, I'd be saying the exact same thing. Look at the results around you, pay attention, really think about it, and then look at who is in charge. You know, a lot of the times in politics, it's the choice of picking the lesser of two evils. That's just the way that it is. We live in an imperfect world, and our systems of governments, boy, are they imperfect. The politicians, probably the most unperfect, both Republican and Democrat. And at the end of the day, you got to look at the issues. And Democrats right now, I mean, they are just crazy on so many issues. Solutions for healthcare, communism. Solution for the education system, communism. And it's not hyperbole. I mean, what do you think universal healthcare is? It's communism. Socialism at best. We're talking about a totally government-ran and government-controlled education and healthcare system. Not exactly appealing, but those are the two issues that they're winning on, just barely. Then go through the list of every other issue and look at the Democrat solution. What's their solution to crime? Pretending like it doesn't exist, decriminalizing crime, painting the police officer as the criminal and the criminal as the victim, defunding the police, and just living in a chaotic world where nobody's held responsible for anything because the criminal is actually a victim of systemic racism and, I don't know, probably capitalism or something. Yeah, you thought I was saying that as a joke because usually I do, but in this case, it's actually a segue because that's exactly what Democrats are doing. Look at this very interesting New York Post headline. San Francisco Democrat says homelessness crisis in his district is absolutely the result of capitalism. Right. The homelessness crisis in San Francisco is a result of capitalism. Capitalism, the system that brought half the world out of poverty, is at the core of the homelessness crisis in the wannabe communist zone of San Francisco. You know, I wonder what the homelessness rates in communist countries are. I mean, this is absolutely idiotic and insane stuff, but it's par for the course in this modern insano leftist world. But at the end of the day, I guess the silver lining is, the beautiful thing is, the more we descend into this leftist madness, the more we'll see a counterbalance, a counterforce. That counterforce, it's this guy. This is the face of the pendulum swinging back, saying very, very clearly,
I voted for Karen Bass, I voted for Biden, I voted for Gavin Newsom. I'm sick of it. It's like at some point you have to give me a reason to vote for you again.
the more insane the left gets, the more their base will abandon them. Okay, so that's pretty much what I got for you guys. That's what's on my mind. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like and possibly subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, friends, and I will see you on the next one.